Good morning, everyone. How are you today? I'm waiting till the rest of you come. We're going to start exactly at 11:30. So once you enter and mute yourself, we have 2 minutes to start. And after that, we're going to start from where we stopped last time. We have 49. Mute yourself once you enter. And close the camera. One minute till we start. Okay, now we're going to start with our lesson. We stopped last time on this part. How do we find the area if it wasn't estimating and I don't know the length and the width? So the first thing that I'm going to do it is to count the length, how long is it, and the width, how long is it, then I can start finding my area. As we mentioned previously, that the area means that you need to count how many squares you actually have. So when I want to count how many squares I actually have, I'm going to do the following. The first thing, I will count the squares that I have them here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. The ones that they are opening their cameras, please close it. Or I'm going to close it for you, miss. I'm double checking. اللي عم بدخل هلا please close the camera. One, two, three. Mute yourself, miss, please. Mute yourself. Malak, yes, you can speak. What do you want, Malak?
Miss, I can't see the screen.
You can't see the screen. 1 minute. Can you see it now, ya Malak? Malak?
No.
Miss, that means there's something wrong with your computer because I did a sharing. Is there anyone else other than Malak who can't see the screen? Ahmad, you raised your hand. Miss 1, 2, 3 اللي مسمي حاله 1, 2, 3, either you mute yourself or I'm going to remove you from the chat, from the lesson itself. مالك هي رح أرجع مرة تانية أطلع وأدخل.
Okay.
Do you see it now, Malak? Malak, can you see the screen now? Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to remove you from the chat, from the lesson. Okay. Muayyad, what's your question? Muayyad, is it the same? You can't see the screen? Muayyad, why did you raise your hand? Okay. Malak, do you still have the same problem? Can you see the screen now? Okay, I'm going to continue in this case. But right now I will be counting the number of squares that I have them. I reach here 4 squares. So this is the fifth one, the sixth one, and this is the seventh one. So here I have 7 because the length here is the same because this is a square as we mentioned. Now I'm going to count here, this one. This is the first one, second one, third one, and the fourth one. Now, usually when we ask you to find the number of squares, you usually do the following. You multiply 7 by 4. And this is how we actually find the area. When I want to find the area, I just multiply the length by the width, or the number of squares that you find them horizontally, times the number of squares that you find them vertically. This is only if they make what? If they make it vertically, if it's a rectangle. For right now, for the area, it will be 7 times 4, which means the answer will be 28. But I can't just say 28 alone. I need to write units square. Why did I mention unit square? Because I have no idea what's the unit right now. Okay, for now, let me erase everything and show it to you clearly. For right now, the area will be length times width. You need to memorize the formula because it will help you a lot later on, which means area equals 4 times 7. Messi اللي مو عامل mute, please mute yourself or else يا مؤيد تطلع برا الحصة. واللي فاتح الفيديو close the video or else you're going to go out of the lesson. Yes, yeah, Yusuf, what's your question? Yusuf Ammar, you can speak.
So fast.
Raise your voice, I can't hear you.
It's so fast while you're talking.
It's so fast. Yes, I'm talking very slow, by the way. Okay, I will make it slower. Sundus, what's your question?
Teacher, the boxes they're like you count 1 to 3 4 to 7, and you count from 1 to 4 in the boxes.
Way, yes.
What?
In the vertical way, I counted 4. Yes.
And in the second time you counted 7. Why do you
Yes.
count the angle that is between the 7 and the 4?
Because I want to know how many squares I have vertically and how many squares I have horizontally, not the one that they have in common. For example, ya Sundus, if I gave you this, 1 minute, ya Rayan. If I gave you these circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I kept drawing, and I'm asking you right now, Sundus, count for me, how many circles did I draw? What will you do?
I will count them.
You can either count them by saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or you can say that I have horizontally like this 4 circles, and I have vertically like this 2 circles. So you're going to say 4 times 2, which is also going to give you the same answer, 8. Isn't that right?
Yes, but it doesn't say that you read this box 2 times.
No, I did count it 2 times. I count the circle 2 times. The first one here, 1, 2, 3, 4. The same thing goes when I want to count vertically. One more time, 1, 2. So I counted the first one 2 times. It doesn't matter. What I care about is how many circles you have in a vertical way, how many circles you have in a horizontal way. You're actually saying, Sundus, that if I count it like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, how many times I'm repeating this column? How many times you're repeating it?
7 times.
So you should multiply 4 by 7. Or if you want to do it in the other way, this one, you're going to say, how many times I'm repeating this row?
You can multiply 7 by 4.
So that's why. The easiest way is to just count how many squares you have vertically, how many squares you have horizontally, then multiply them. Without counting them one by one. If I'm counting one by one, I'm not going to repeat any square. But if I want to use the multiplication, I will repeat the first one by counting. Is it clear now? Let's look at the other question. Mute yourself, yes, Sundus. Now, Rayan, what's your question? Not Ahmad, Rayan. Rayan, what's your question?
This way or
Can you raise your
only
voice,
works with the
Rayan?
rectangles or with all shapes?
No, this is
Does this
only
way-
with the rectangles. That's why our lesson, calculating area for rectangle.
Okay.
Other shapes, we're going to use other formulas. Okay? Is it clear now, ya Rayan?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's continue. Once I have it, once I know what's the area, I'm going to write 4 times 7, which is a 28 units square. Now let's move to the other example. Let me erase everything and then move to the next one. In the other example here, if you notice, I didn't have squares to start counting them. But what did they do actually? They wrote for you the length and they wrote for you the width. By the way, here I'm saying that this is the length and here I'm saying this is the width. For you, you can say that this is your length and this is your width. At the end, they are only names. What I care to multiply the first dimension times the second dimension. How do you name them? It's totally up to you, okay? And you all know that in the multiplication, you can switch the order. It will give you the same answer. So here one more time. If I want to find the area, right away use the rule. The rule says that the area is length by width. So I'm just going to use the rule. I will say 13 times 10, which means it will give me 130. Sorry, here the answer is wrong. Let me just fix the answer. This one will be 130, which means your area is 130. But what 130 what? What's your unit? You have here meter and here meter, the same unit, which means it will be meter square. Why is it meter square? Because it's an area. The area, it should have two as a power. Let's hear your question. Omar, what's your question? Hassan.
Miss, you said that the unit will be meter. طب if we have meter and centimeter?
Miss, I said that the first thing, once you're dealing with any units of area, you should make sure that they are exactly the same unit. As far as I remember, Jude asked about this part previously, and she said, which unit should we use? I asked her, use whatever unit you find it more suitable for you. So if you find that you have meter and centimeter, you either make both of them into meter or you make both of them into centimeter. It's totally
okay.
up to you. Okay? Now, Omar. Omar, what's your question? Omar Zaidan. Omar. Omar, you can speak. Okay. Zayed, what's your question?
Teacher, they will put for us the length and the width.
Yeah, they were going to give you the length and the width. This is the second level, ya Zayed. In the third level, the last one, I'm going to make one of them missing, but I will give you the area. Okay? So wait till I give you the last level.
Okay.
And then repeat the question, okay? Now let's continue. So one more time, you need to memorize the rule. The rule for the rectangle is to say that its length times width. So the length is 13, the width is 10. They are the same unit, so I can directly multiply 13 by 10, which is 130. What's the unit? Meter. So you're going to put meter square because it's an area. Now let's move to the next one. And this one, it's also a rectangle, but they put it in another direction. The same thing, they are asking you find the area, which means you're going to right away to write your rule in front of you. The area for the rectangle equals length by width. This is always will be your first step. Whenever I ask you to find anything, you always write the rule, okay? So the rule, area equals length by width. Now I will start writing the information that is given, okay? The first information, I do have my length, which is 9. So the area equals 9 times. I have my width, which is what? 7. So 9 times 7. Can I multiply directly? Do they have the same units? Yes, they do, which means I can multiply directly. So 9 times 7, the answer will be 63. What's my unit? Not centimeter alone, centimeter square. Once I'm done, that means this is your final answer. What did I do? I wrote the rule at the beginning, then I start writing the information that is given. The area, I have no idea about it. The length, I do know what is it. The width, I do know what is it. They are the same unit. I can multiply, so the answer will be 63. Do you have any question before I move to the next example? Any question? Yes, ya Malak. Malak, you put your hand down. Okay. Yes, ya Ahmad. What's your question, ya Ahmad?
But teacher, I didn't understand the 7 centimeter.
What you didn't understand in the 7 centimeter? It's yes.
Yeah, يعني all the level 2 I didn't understand.
I still don't get your question, Ahmad. Can you repeat, please?
In level 2 I did not understand the level 2.
Miss, level 2, you just need to use the rule. The rule says you need to multiply the length times the width. So you need to know what are your dimension. Now, what do we know about a rectangle, ya Ahmad? That in the rectangle, the opposite sides are equal. So if this is 9, this will be 9. If this is 7, this will be 7. So your dimensions are 7 and 9. These are the 2 dimensions. So you only need to multiply them, 7 times 9. Now what you need to be careful about it is that they have the same unit. Yani if I wrote for you, ya Ahmed, this is 7 meter and this is 9 centimeter, you cannot find the area in this case. I changed the question right now. Why I cannot find the area? Because they are different unit, which means I should make them both the same unit. So I'm going to make the meter into centimeter by multiplying it by what? With what do I multiply from meter to centimeter? By 100. So this will be 700 centi. Now, can you find your area? Because both of them are the same unit. You can. So you're going to say area equals not 700 times 9 and multiply normally. You just need to use the formula. If you couldn't use the formula, you're not going to be able to find the area. And the formula is as simple as that. Just multiply the 2 numbers that are given, the length and the width. Is it clear? Or shall I go to the previous example, ya Ahmad? Okay.
No, I understand. Thanks.
Did you understand it now? Okay. What's your question?
I didn't understand the last part.
Which part?
It was meter and centimeter.
You're not allowed to find the area if it's meter and centimeter, ya Wasfa. You cannot find it with different unit. The same as comparing different units. The same as adding different units. The same as adding a fraction with different denominator. I cannot do this if they are not the same. So what will I do? I should make them the same. So if the question wasn't The question wasn't 7 centimeter. It was here 7 meter. Can you actually find the area?
No.
So you should make them the same. How do you switch? What do you want to convert? The meter to make it centimeter or the centimeter to make it meter? Choose Wasfa.
The 7 to make it centimeters.
Okay, then with what do you multiply?
By 100.
So multiply by 100 will become what?
700.
So this is 700 centimeter. Now, do they have the same units?
Yes.
Both measures? So now you can find your area. So now you can say that the area is length by width, which means 700 times 9. When you want to multiply, you forget about the 0. You put them right away here, the 2 zeros, and you just multiply 9 by 7, which is 63. And you put the unit centimeter square. Is it clear now, ya Wasfa?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome. Now let's move to the next example. In the next example, I have this one. Who can solve it? Raise your hand. Adnan.
You do 12 times 8. Then, wait, let me do it on the paper. It will give you 96
Excellent. And the unit will be?
meters squared.
And why did you multiply directly? Because they are what?
Both meters, the same.
Both meter. Excellent job. Any question before I move? If you have a question, raise your hand. If you don't, put it down now. If you have a question, keep your hand up. If you don't, put it down. Okay, let's start with Hassan.
Sorry, I raised my hand. Sorry.
Mute yourself then, ya Hassan. Now, Amir. What's your question, ya Amir?
I raised it by mistake. I want to answer.
Now let's move to the next level. Now it's the next level question. Here the last level in this session. Level 3. How to find the missing side. I have some hands that are raised. Before I start with this one, let's hear you out. What's your question, ya Maruf?
No, miss, I just wanted to answer the question.
Karim Ibder, what's your question?
Just I want to answer it.
Guys, for the last time, do not raise your hand if you want to answer. I didn't say you can answer right now. I'm asking if you have questions. If you have a question, keep your hand up. If you don't, put it down. Yes, ya Jad, what's your question?
مس أنا عندي question على level 3.
I didn't even start explaining it, so wait until I'm done.
Okay.
Now in level 3, they're going to tell you, they will give you the area and they will give you one of the sides. So let me point them here for you. I'm going to give you the area, it's equal to how much, and I'm going to give you the side. The first thing you need to know it, that the area here should be the same as the measure of it, the unit that we're using it, is the same as the units of the missing sides. And most of the cases they are. I'm not going to ask you a question that they are not. But if they are not, then make them the same, okay? Because they are the same, millimeter squared, millimeter, and here is millimeter. They are asking me to find the second missing part, this one. What is x? This one could be, I can call it the length, I can call it the width, it doesn't matter. But matter how I will solve it. So the first step is always to write the formula that you know it. They gave you the area. Ask yourself, what do I know about the area? You're going to say, I know that the area equals length times width. This will be the first step, and it's the very important step. The most important step is to write the information and how you're going to use it. Now start filling your information. The first thing they give it to you is the area. So the area, I will put it under the area. I do know that this is 28. Bring down the equal. In length, I do know that they give it to me to be what? 7. So I'm going to put here 7. This one, I don't know what is it the width. So I'm going to keep it an empty number. How do you solve this kind of a question? How do you find the missing number? By going backward. How do I make it backward? By doing the opposite operation. Instead of multiplying, I will divide. So this one will be 28 divided by 7, which is going to give you 4. So the missing side will actually be 4. Can you double check your answer? Yes, by using the rule. 4 times 7, is it actually 28? The answer is yes. Now I will listen to your question. Let's start from the first one, Jad. Jad, what's your question?
مس هلا لو كان عندنا مثلا انه رقم اكبر من اكبر من 10 يعني 11 12.
Okay, then divide, do a long division, miss.
وهو بس هو اللي معطينا اياه ونلاقي الرقم لا انه في عندنا رقم انه نسوي long division زي كانه هذا انه عادي.
You do long division. You can also have decimal number, by the way. You do long division. This one I can do it right away because it doesn't need from me long division. But if the number is big, then you must do a long division.
مش لو كان انه الرقم الاريا not divisible by انه الرقم اللي هو
a decimal number, it's totally fine.
Okay.
You can write it as a mixed number or you can continue with decimal number. Okay. A hint for you guys.
Okay.
If you're dividing by a prime number other than the 2 and the 5, it will not end. So, and it's, or don't use this one. خلاص, do a long division. Now let's move to the next one. Now, Zayed. Yes, yeah, Zayed.
Teacher, and why there is why we did division, not adding?
I cannot add because the opposite of multiplying is dividing.
Thank you. Okay.
Welcome. Now, Omar. Omar, what's your question?
Teacher, can you repeat it?
Okay, one more time. Write the information that is written in front of you or translate whatever is given into mathematical language. What you're going to say, area equals length by width. Once you know the rule, start writing the numbers that are given under each one. So under the area, I will write 28 because they told me that the area is 28. Under the length, I'm going to write 7. Under the width, I will keep it empty because I have no idea about it. Now, because it's multiplying, you should go back and you should go backward because you have a missing number here. You have no idea what is it. And if I want to go backward, I should do the opposite operation or the inverse operation, which means instead of multiplying, I will do what? Division. But what divide by what? The answer, 28, divide by the 7. So 28 divided by 7 will give you 4. Is it clear now?
Yes, clear. Thank you.
Welcome. Maruf, what's your question?
You did it the other way around. The 4 is
One more time,
meant
Maruf.
to be the length. The 4 is the length. Oh, no, yeah.
It doesn't
The
matter,
4 is
Maruf. It doesn't matter if you want to name this one to be your length, the 4, or to be the width. It's at the end multiplication. So I don't actually care about the order in the multiplying. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
Welcome. Now, next one, Rayan. What's
Teacher,
your question? Yes.
if they only show us the area, can we find the length and the width?
Only in one case if they mentioned it's a square.
Okay.
Otherwise, if it's a rectangle, they should give you one of the length or one of the width. Or you can do another way, but that means you're not going to only get one answer. You will get more than one answer. And good question, I'm going to mention it right now, okay? So all of you listen to Rayani's question. If it's a rectangle, okay, I'm going to erase everything. I did it here. Rayani, please mute yourself now. And right now, I told you it's a rectangle, okay? And I didn't give you the length and I didn't give you the width. I will not ask you give me the length and the width. I will ask you give me all of the possible length and all of the possible width. So you're going to do the following. You're going to use the factors. Why I will use that? Because if you notice that the length is the area is a product of two numbers. So use your factors. What are the two numbers when I multiply them will give me 28? The first one is 1 times 28. The second one could be what? 2 times 14. The third one could be 4 times 7. What does this mean? 1 times 28, that you actually have a rectangle with a length of 28 and the width of what? 1. Here you have a rectangle with a width of 14 and the length of 2. Here you have another rectangle with a length of 7 and the width of 4. So how many possible answers you could have? You could have 3 possible answers. Now, by the way, I'm mentioning they should be whole. If I didn't say they are whole, you have infinite possible answers, okay? So let's hear you out one more time. Rayan, did you get it? If not, raise your hand one more time. Mu'taz, what's your question?
أنا عندي سؤالين.
Mm.
أول سؤال لو مثلا
Can you hurry up, Mu'taz?
أعطوني الاريا بس السكوير بس للسكوير يعني الاريا تاع السكوير بدون
I didn't reach this example yet, Mu'taz. I do have it with me, don't worry. Once I reach it, I will explain it. If you have a question regarding what I just explained. The other question, what is it?
أنا بس إذا مثلا كان في الامتحان مثلا كان في question زي هيك question بس عليه علامة بدل ما أكتب area equal length times width.
Miss, this is just to help you out. And at the beginning, you should write the rule in order to memorize it. Once you do that, it's fine if you didn't write it. But if it's a 2-mark question, you need to show your work. So which means you should write the rule down.
Okay.
And do not ask me right now a question regarding the exam. It's not the time for it. Yes, yeah, Amir, what's your question?
Teacher, in that case, can we do like 7 times what equal 28?
Of course you can do that. But I'm saying, Amir, if it was not a number that you're familiar with it. So you should do the opposite way, which is dividing.
Yes.
Which
With
means you're
small
going to do
numbers,
long
we can
division.
multiply.
What?
With small numbers we can multiply, but with bigger numbers it's easier to divide.
Yes, it's much more easier to do the long division.
Okay.
Okay? Omar, what's your question?
I forgot to lower my hand.
Okay. Mute yourself, please, ya Omar. Wasfi, what's your question?
Teacher, I forgot to lower my hand.
Okay. Okay, now let's move to another example. Let's look at this one. As I just mentioned, if I have it like this, here I do have a decimal, okay, for the ones that they are concerning about that. How can I find the missing side? The first step is to always, once I'm done, Musa and Muhammad, I will hear you out, okay? Just give me 2 minutes till I'm done. So the area, the first thing I'm going to write the rule. Area equal length by width. The second step, I will start filling the information. The first information, the area is 28.8 equals. The second information is what? 9 times a missing number. Here, I cannot do mentally, ask myself 9 times what? Give me 28.8. I should do a long division. So what's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So the missing number will be 28.8 divided by 9. Now, because I can't do it mentally, I will do long division right here. 28.8 times 9. Now, I will ask myself, how many 9 are there in 28? You're going to tell me we have 3. 3 times 9 is 27. Now, subtract. This is 1. You do have a decimal. Right away, you bring it up. And then you bring down the 8. How many 9 are there in 18? You're going to say 2. 2 times 9 is 18. Now subtract. The answer is 0. So what is the missing number? What is the missing width? It's 3.2. Okay. Let's see it. So area length by width, 28.8 equals 9 times x. X, I have no idea what is it. So I should go backward, which means I should divide. I will do the long division and I will get my answer. The unit will stay meter. Let's hear your question. Okay, Ma'ruf, what's your question?
Miss, in the long division, you said that there's 2 9s and 8. It
2,
says
9, 18, I mean, yeah.
oh,
Okay.
Miss, but it says 8, not 18.
Miss, by mistake, you already saw that I wrote 18, I didn't wrote 8.
Okay.
Masa, yes, what's your question?
Teacher, can you repeat, please?
Which part you want me to repeat?
Can you repeat all of it, please?
Okay, from the beginning, the first step, ya Masa, you write the rule, which is written in front of you, right here. I'm going to erase everything. The rule is written in front of you. You're going to write it. The second step, you're going to fill out the information that you have them. They gave you that the area under each other. Under the area, you're going to write the number, 28.8. You're going to put down the equal. Under the length, you're going to put 2. You're going to put down the multiplying. Under the width, you're going to put the letter that they wrote it, which is x. Now, this is backward because there's a missing number. You cannot solve it directly. Going backward means you should do, instead of multiplying, dividing. But what divide by what? The answer, 28.8 divided by 9. I'm not going to repeat the long division, okay? You do a long division, and this is your answer that you're going to get. So the missing number will actually be 3.2. Is that clear now, Yamasa?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome. Laith Khawaja, what's your question?
Miss, I don't understand how to do dividing decimals in your way.
In my way? So what was your way then?
I just removed the decimal and remember how many times did the decimal go in front and divide. And then when I get the answer, I move the decimals.
Now, your way, sometimes it will be complicated once you don't start with the same amount of digits. What do I mean by that, ya Laith? If when you're dividing 28.8, let's say, or point something else other than the 8, I'm going to change the number now. Let's say here 2, then 1, okay? It's not always the case, and I'm dividing right now by 3. It's not always here I'm going to have the same digits that I have them here. If I ask myself how many 3 are there in 2, you're going to say 0, but most of the students, don't put 0 here. They just ignore it. And they skip and they write how many 3 are there in 28. My way is just once you reach it, just bring it up so that you don't get confused with that. For right now, if you want to be in order, you should write the 0 if you want to use your way. 0 times 3 is 0. This will be 2. Then you're going to bring down the 8. How many 3 are there in 28? You're going to say 9. 27. Then you're going to have 1. I will bring down the 8. How many 3 are there in 18? This is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. You're going to bring down the 2. How many 3 are there in 2? There is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. You're going to bring down the 2 one more time. Now you're going to bring down the 1. How many 3 are there in 21? That's 7. And this is 21. Now you need to count 1, 2, so you count from here 1, 2, and then you put the decimal. But it took me too much time, and it was much more longer. And it's totally up to you at the end. This is your way, and this is my way. There is no correct way. And your way is correct, and my way is correct. Okay, you can do whatever you want, Ya Walais.
Okay.
Adnan, what's your question?
Teacher, is there homework today?
Yes, there will be a homework today.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let's move to the next example. In this example, one more time, I want to find the missing side. Oh, here it's a bigger number, also a decimal number. The first step is to write your rule. What's your rule? Area equals length by width. Now fill in the gaps. Under the area, you're going to put 104.55. Under the length 3, under the width x. Now I should go backward, which means I will divide 104.55 divided by 3. Here I should do a long division. So I'm going to do the long division right here. 104.55 divided by 3. How many 3 are there in 10? You're going to say 3. 3 by 3, that's 9. This is 1. I'm going to bring down the 4. How many 3 are there in 14? You're going to say 4. 4 by 3 is 12. Now subtract. You reach the decimal, right away bring it up. Now bring down the next digit, which is 5. How many 3 are there in 25? You're going to say 8. 8 times 3 is 24. Now subtract 1. Bring down the last digit, which is 5. How many 3 are there in 5? You're going to say 5. 5 times 3 is 15. So what is the missing number? 34.85. Let's see it here. So the missing number is 34.85. Now let's move to the next example. If it's a square now, what I should know about the square or remember it about the square, that the length and the width are actually what? Who can tell me? What do you know about the length and the width in the square? Yes, ya Jude.
They are equal and
Excellent, because they are equal. That means, should I write length by width, or I can just write, instead of that, an area to be length by length or width by width? Can I just do that? Or if you want to name it width, you can say width times width. So if I want the missing number and I said that the area is 49, this is equal length by length, which means the same number by itself. With what does this remind you? With which kind of number do they remind you? Yes, ya Julie.
7 times 7.
Excellent, with the square numbers, okay? So when I ask you, that's why they call them square numbers, because their area is the number by itself, okay? So what's the missing side will be? It will be actually 7. So for your cases, for your level in grade 6, I will always give you the area to be a perfect square. What do I mean by a perfect square? The numbers that you know them from 1 square till 20 square. Okay? Julie, do you have a question other than this?
No.
Okay. For right now, if I say the area is 49, you're going to ask yourself, what times itself give me 49? You should memorize it. You already memorized it, by the way. For the answer will be 7. If I told you, for example, the area is actually 100, who can answer it? What's the length will be? It's a square. If I didn't say it's a square, you cannot do this. Who can say what's the answer? Yes, Ibrahim.
25.
No, you need to say what times itself give you 100.
10 times 10.
10 times 10, so the missing side will actually be 10. If I said that the area for a square, it's 169. Who can tell me what's the side? You should say length by itself. What times itself give you 169? Yes, ya Mu'taz?
13.
13, excellent job. Now, if I say that the area equals 400, what times itself give me 400? Yes, ya Ma'roof?
20 times 20.
20 times 20. But can I ask you now, what times itself give you 400? 10. Omar, can I ask you this question?
No.
No, this is for your class, for level grade 6, for level 7. But in upper grades, they will ask you this kind of a question. How you're going to solve it, you're going to learn it later on, but not now, okay? For this kind of a question, I'm not going to ask you about it. Now, the ones that they kept their hands up, if you have a question, keep it. Otherwise, put it down. Otherwise, put it down. Kareem or Omar or Bana or Amir, if you have a question, keep it. If not, put it down. ما تقولي لي نسيته هلا. Yeah, let's start. Kareem, what's your question?
Miss, I did not understand.
Miss, what do you know about the square? Is it the same as the rectangle, ya Kareem?
No.
So what do you know about it? What's so special about the square?
The all sides are equal.
And what did I say about the area? Isn't the area the length by the width?
Yeah.
So the length times the width, and the length and the width are equal. So you should ask yourself, what times itself give you the missing number? What times itself give you 49?
7.
So that's a missing number. What times itself give you 100?
10.
So that's a missing number, ya Kareem.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Yes, ya Lily. Yes, ya Julie. What's your question?
Can we get decimal?
Can you get a decimal? You can get a decimal, ya Julie, but not in grade 6, in grade 7.
Okay.
Here you're not going to have decimals. For the square, only for the square. The rectangle, yes, and you saw that previously. Yes, ya Amir.
Teacher, about the homework, are you going to send it after the session?
After the second session, you still have a science session. After it, I will send it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, yes, ya Laith, what's your question?
مش الهومورك مش due to أي يوم.
The homework due today till 6 as always. Okay. Now let's look at the other 2 examples that I still have them. So this is what we say. If the area here is 121, you're going to say it's what times itself give you 121. So you're going to say it's 11. Here, if it's 36, you're going to ask yourself what times itself give you 36, which means the answer will be 6. Now, اللي عاملين unmute. Okay. Do you have any question? Raise your hand. Do you have any question? Okay, now we're going to move to the next part of the lesson, which is finding the perimeter. So I'm going to do stop sharing. And now I will show you the next one, which is how to find the perimeter. Now, I'm only going to be able to give you the first example or just the definition of it, and we're going to stop the session right here. Before that, before I start, I will open the chat section, write your name. 1 minute. Stop sharing. Now here, you can start writing your name with your section. It's all recorded, by the way. Start writing your names with your section till I say what's the definition of the perimeter. So what do I know here? The perimeter is actually what's the total distance around and the outside of the shape. So when I want to find the perimeter for a shape, I want to look at the outside, the length of the outside. So if I have this shape in front of me, I don't care what's inside as the area. What I care is what's outside. So the first line that is outside is the 7 meter. The second one is the 5 meter. The third one is the 25 meter. The fourth one is the 15 meter. The last one is the 10 meter. Because they mentioned the total distance, total means to add. So what's the total distance? I will add all of the sides. So once I add them up, I will get my distance, the perimeter, which is 62 meter. صار أنا في عندي 19 messages، معناته في ناس عم تكتب أشياء زيادة. هلا عشان تكونوا في الصورة مس أنا هلا رح أعمل stop this one sharing، واللي مفكر إنه هو مش recorded هلا I will show you how it is recorded. أوكي؟ عشان ما حدا يقول لي لما يجي بكرة تنبيه إيش كتب على الشات روم، ليش إجا هذا التنبيه. One minute. وهيا مس كيف التشات ببين معي بس تخلص الحصة. فكل واحد كتب إشي زيادة رح يبين معي إيش كتبه. شفتوا يا مس كيف يبين وبالاسم؟ هاي كل إشي هذا من الحصة الماضية. فكل واحد كتب إشي زيادة ما له علاقة باسمه أو صفه يتوقع إنه اليوم يجي تنبيه. Thank you very much for listening, and we're going to close the session today, and everything that you wrote is recorded. Thank you again. Before I end the meeting, I want to hear your questions. في ناس طلعوا من الميتينج لحالهم. مين رافع إيده؟ Yes يا ريان, what's your question?
Teacher, if they don't show us, if they want us to know the perimeter, if they don't show us all of the sides, should we measure them or no?
It depends on the shape. This is we're going to discuss it later on, so don't worry about it. Okay? Today homework will only be about the area. Next one. Next time, miss, name yourself a name that refers to you. Yes, what's your...
راضي يبعت اسمي.
إيش اسمك يا مس؟
رغد العقدة 6D.
رغد، الاسم أول شيء بتغيري اسمك هون بتكتبيه رغد وأنا بسجل اسمك. Sundus, what's your question?
Teacher, for the schedule you gave us for the studying, there wasn't 3 past paper. You give us just 1. So will you make the other 2 online, or you doesn't want them?
No, miss, I will send it to you, but I didn't discuss it till now with the coordinator. Once I discuss it and which past paper I will give it to you, I will send it. That's why I didn't answer you yesterday. Not because I don't want to answer you. Okay? Jad, what's your question?
مش هلا على البيريميتر هو مو زي يونتين انه بنسوي لهم زائد بعدين نسوي لهم ديفايد، خلاص بس نسوي لهم
No,
زائد.
you just add. This is the perimeter. I just
okay.
add the distance of the outside.
Okay.
And I will give you extra examples later on. This is just introduction.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, Zaid Juma.
Teacher,
what's your question?
Teacher, what is the homework for today?
It's about the area from the questions that are in the course book and the questions that are in the practice book. And also you're going to do it online. I will send you the link once you're done with your sessions.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Welcome. Now, next one, Amir, what's your question?
Teacher, the slide you just showed us about how to find the perimeter. Is there going to be a question like you don't show us no measurements, we have to measure it and then add them?
Miss, if you have a question regarding the perimeter, do not ask it today because I just give you introduction. I will explain it in details next Sunday. Okay? For the area, I already explained how do we find the missing side.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Yasmin, now, what's your question? You're out? Yasmin, what's your question? Nazar. Any other question? Okay. We're going to end the meeting today. Thank you for listening and have a nice day. Goodbye.